So today we're going to talk about award season. Seems crazy, right? It's September. What does September have to do with next year's January, February award season? Well, it's actually very critical right now that we set our agents and our teams up on the right path so that they are all set up for success when it comes to January 1 and award season to celebrate their 2023 successes. This is all surrounding Dash. Now, we know that agents are part of teams in different regions set up differently. Every team is different. No two teams are the same, it seems. And account tech, even though that is how the teams are set up for the agents financially, and a little bit how their listings market, Dash has to be set up correctly for their awards, and they don't talk to each other when it comes to teams. The good news now is Dash does talk to Moxie and ColdwellBanker.com when it comes to teams, but not account tech. So we have to make sure Dash is set up correctly for our agents. Now, this will make a difference in their awards because of the brand's award criteria. I'll show you where I got this document in a second, but let's chat through it quickly first. So if an agent was on a team last year and the team disbanded, but we never updated Dash, they may be considered a team, but really they're an individual. So it's going to affect how their awards are given to them based on GCI and or units. So you can see for International Society of Excellence, individual award GCI is 1 million, units is 160. For a team 1 to 3, it's higher, obviously, because there's more people, and higher yet for a 4+ team. This all comes from how Dash is set up for our teams. Now, the reason why it's important to do it now, because come October, Coldwell Banker brand actually puts a blackout on the changes that we can make to teams in Dash. Now, there is a little bit of a workaround. If something comes up late, if a team got missed, or if it wasn't updated correctly, we can reach out to our brand ambassadors and have them update that for us. But the good news is from now until October, we can do it ourselves, which is a much easier process, and we have more control over it. So let's show you a few things on the screen. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute or go ahead and type them in the chat box. We're going to start in desk. So this is just mycbdesk.com. Every agent, every staff member should have access. If you have any access issues, reach out. We're going to go over here to the left and we're going to go to My Business. From here, we want to go to Awards and Production. And you can see there's a lot of award resources, award winners from last year. So if you click on award resources, the first thing that you're going to see here is the 2023 National Awards Criteria chart. When you click on that, that's going to pull this up. This will be clearly stated for your agent so they know where they're at when it comes to their awards. Now, the way that Dash reads the awards is everything that comes from account tech when it comes to our transactions. So agent A closes on a property, the GCI is recorded, it gets sent to Dash, we e-pay our franchise fee, and that's now award eligible. I'll show you in Dash in a moment where you can run some reports, but first we're going to talk about the team setup, because even though account tech sends financial information, when it comes to GCI and units, it does not send across the team information. So what we're going to ask for you to do between now and October 1st, we have 2 full weeks, is to get into your Dash. If you've not been in Dash, if you're newer, that's okay. Reach out to your RSC or myself. We don't go to Dash a lot anymore because we do have account tech, but because it doesn't talk when it comes to team setup, we do need to get into Dash for this. So again, if you're newer or if you've never been in Dash, reach out to your RSC or myself and we can help you with this. So you can ignore your dashboard. It's a little overwhelming if you've never been in here. We're going to go right over to the left where it says people, and we're going to go to people home. We all like people, right? It's one of our focus on the 5 people. From here, you'll see that your agent roster should load. Now, if you are administrative on one office, you're going to see your office. If you're part of a region, you're going to see your whole region. What you're seeing on the screen now is all of Michigan. So it's just depending on how your security status is, your positions are set up in Dash. If you're not seeing what you should be seeing, again, reach out. It's just usually a position that we have to go into Dash quickly and change your security settings. But as much as we love people, right now we're really concerned about teams. So up here in this bar, you're going to click that and you're going to click active teams. This is going to list out every team that you have either, again, in your office, your region, or your state. And if it's in this Dash setup here, they will be held responsible for the award criteria for the team setup. So if you jump in there and you're like, oh gosh, you know, the Hoovy team hasn't been a team in a year, we need to go ahead and make those changes. If you have a new team and you're like, John Doe and Jane Doe just became a team in last January, they're not in here, we need to get them in there because again, it's going to affect the reward criteria. If you want to have a conversation with your manager prior to making any changes, which we highly encourage because it's usually a conversation between the manager and the agent, you can actually export this list to Excel or to PDF. That way you'll have it. You can jot down notes, talk to manager. This is good. This is not good. This is the changes we need, XYZ. To be able to view a group and how they're set up, or a team, I apologize, a team, you want to click on them and you can either go to update or view. If you're just viewing because you're taking notes and you're going to have a conversation with your manager, click view. If you know that there needs to be changes because you're like, gosh, that person hasn't been part of a team in a year, you can go ahead and click update details. It's a fairly simple screen. You see it's an associate is the team type. The team name is here. This is also where you can change a team name. Maybe they went from John Doe team to Jane Doe's team. You can change that here. This is where your team members can be added or changed. And you can see right now this team does need work because there are no team members. Let's go back a screen. Again, we got to hear from people home, dropped this down and went to active teams. We're going to go into Mark and Kim Gleason team, and we're going to go to update details. Now, this is where you can see it tells you the team name and who is members of the team. The team rep, you can also change. This is the team lead. This is the main rainmaker, or administratively, sometimes it's the team lead as well. So you can change that. You may see members that are no longer part of the team. They'll have a deactivation date. Their name will still see here, but make sure they have a deactivation date. If they've added to their team, you click the little grayed out. It's kind of hard to see. There's a little plus sign there. You click that and it'll let you type in a name that you can add to their team. And again, if they're no longer members of the team, you put a deactivation date in here. Now, once you're done, you have to scroll down to the bottom and click save. If they are no longer a team, you go to actions and deactivate this team. Again, I'm not expecting you guys to know this, right? You don't know how agents are necessarily set up. Maybe you do, but most likely probably not everybody. So again, go ahead and when you're on that team view, go ahead and export your list of teams. Some offices will have a lot. Some offices may not have any, and that's okay. You can click export to Excel, export to PDF, and then have that conversation with your manager. Say, hey, manager, can we go through our teams? We got to make these changes before October 1st. I need to get into Dash and make them accurate because that will have an effect. And again, to get to this spreadsheet, because that's a great piece of the conversation to have with your managers, you want to go to Desk, My Business, Awards and Production, Award Resources, and it's right here. If you can't find it or it's not showing up for you some reason, just reach out. I can send it to you. But again, the ask is from now into October 1st to go into Dash, go to your people, go to your active teams and make sure these are set up, because not only does the team itself matter, but you can see it matters how many team members they have. If they're 1 to 3, their criteria is less than if they're 4+. So we want to get our agents set up correctly. Again, keep in mind, if you don't get the information back, maybe the agents are out of town, the manager doesn't have a chance to connect to them, we can make changes through our brand ambassadors after October. But it's usually quite easy to go ahead and do it now to make sure that we're set up for success for the award season. Now, if you have an agent and they're like, oh gosh, I don't know, do I want to be a team of 1 to 3? Or is this person really just a licensed assistant, so they shouldn't be part of the team? You can go into Dash, you can go into Business Intelligence, you can go into Run a Report. Let that sit and spin for a hot second. Maybe 3 hot seconds. Then you'll want to go to Awards Reports. You can go into the Sales Associate Awards Summary. Once you click on it there, you come over here and click Go. Your period is you just want to run it through whatever the last month is. Obviously, nothing in September has been e-paid yet, so nothing is reporting, so it's through August. Again, if you have one office, you're going to see your office. So if you are doing it by office, or if you only have one office, click on it. It'll go to selected offices, click Run Report. This is going to show year to date where those agents are tracking. And again, the brand awards only care about GCI and or units. So while that runs, we'll come back over here. So if you have an agent that has 500,000 in GCI, but they have 81 units, they're going to get International President's Premier. They don't have to get both of these criteria. It's one or the other. As long as they are higher on units or GCI, they're going to fall into that category. So that's how you can explain it to your agents. So for example, International President Circle, maybe they only have 30 units, but their GCI is 300,000 because their sales price was higher. They'll still get International President's Circle. It's one or the other, doesn't have to be both. Go back to Dash. My Zoom keeps getting in the way. So once that report runs, you're not going to see it on your screen. It's going to go to your download. You're going to be, oh gosh, did I do that? Where did it go? It goes to your download. So I'm on a Mac, so it's in my upper right corner, depending how you're set up, browser, system. It's going to be a little bit different. Find your downloads, and it's going to be right there. It is a PDF. It is a little Greek. It's a little confusing, but what you want to do is go to this last column, and this is the pacing designation. So you can see this last column here is what you want to pay attention to because that's their total production. This is what's going to count for their pacing designation. Units, GCI. DIA stands for diamond. SST, I should know this, Sterling Society. Michigan only. So Ohio and Florida right now, close your ears. This is Michigan only. Silver Society is a Schmidt family of companies Michigan award. You're not going to see it on here. They're going to have it again this year. It's not part of the brand awards. It's a Michigan specific award. So if you're looking for Silver Society information in Michigan, you won't find it on here. Reach out for more questions if you're Michigan specific. So again, Dash, business intelligence, award reports, sales associate award reports. Now, if you pull up that summary and you're like, that can't be right. John Doe sells a ton of real estate. That can't be right. You can go back into Dash and run the individual, the associate awards eligibility. That's going to give you more of the detail. So you'll be actually run by unit and by GCI what's tracking. So you can be like, hey, 123 Main Street's not on here. Why? Well, then you just need to contact your RSC, regional commission specialist, myself. For some reason, account tech didn't talk to Dash correctly. So all of these reports can be ran. Again, we have from now until October 1st to do the team setup, knowing that the caveat is we still can actually change it before the end of the year. We just have to go a different process. Any of the GCI or units that are not showing on their award report, we have a little bit more time. We have through the end of the year to try to work some of those problems. But what we don't want to happen, which seems to happen every year, come January 15th, we get our preliminary award reports and they're completely wrong. And at that point, it's a lot harder to change things. So we're really asking for you to jump in now in your spare time. When you have a little bit of downtime, now's a good time to get these things done. So let me check the questions and then we'll do a recap. So under award reports, so the first one, again, to run those reports, business intelligence, run a report. This is what it looks like all. You can go to recent reports. So if you are running the same report again and again, it's going to show up in recents. But to find it the first time, you want to go to award reports. The summary for your office is here. And then teams too, by the way, since we started the conversation with teams, you can find the team awards eligibility report there as well. And then if you want more of a detailed view, you can go into the awards eligibility. Now, my commercial ASCs and commercial coordinators, it's a little different for commercial. So if you're looking for their commercial awards, make sure that you pick that commercial award report. But they're all found under award reports, which is nested under business intelligence. Good point, Stephanie. If you don't see business intelligence, we have to change your status in Dash. We have to make sure that your security level is allowing you to run these reports. So Stephanie, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll get that set up for you. Once we change that, you'll have to log out, log back in, and you should be able to see business intelligence. Yeah, Michelle, you can do that. So if you are running the awards eligibility report out of Dash, you can absolutely cross-check that against account tech. You can cross-check it against the MLS, whatever you feel more confident in, but you can cross-check that. Account tech should match Dash. But again, sometimes it is technology, right? Sometimes things get lost in translation. So yeah, definitely cross-check that to account tech. Any other questions? I'm going to wait just a moment while I continue to chatter. But to recap, we are asking for you to go into Dash, to go to people, to go to team. I'm sorry, go to people home. I have to scroll up. I lost it on my screen. drop this down to team and just verify accuracy. Again, we want to make sure the team name is right. We want to make sure the team members are right. We want to make sure that team's still active. If you're looking for the award criteria to help have that conversation between your manager and your agents, you want to go into desk, go to My Business, go to award resources in the National Awards Criteria chart. If you want to run their tracking to make sure that they are tracking towards their award, you go back to Dash, Business Intelligence, run a report. Here's where we sit and spin a little bit. While that spins, if you don't have business intelligence, reach out. We just have to change your Dash settings. Award reports and then award summary. Let me pop this question over here so I can read it better. So that is a great question. So the question from Anne is, she has agents that they share closings. They either give dollars to each other or they share closings, sometimes financially. Really doesn't have a bearing on the team. The team setup, and that's why it's a conversation with the manager, has more to do with how they market themselves than how they're paid. It could be the same. They could be paid 50-50 because they have a 50-50 split team. That's fine if that's how they're marketing themselves. But just because they are financially on their disbursement sheets, sharing doesn't mean necessarily that they market as a team. So that's when that conversation needs to happen with the manager. The manager should take this awards chart, say, hey, are you marketing as a team? I see you have a team logo, you have a team Facebook page, you have a team website. That to me tells me they're marketing as a team. Now, if JD and I tend to work together and we share clients, maybe he's on the west side, I'm a little bit on the east, so we just don't really refer things. We just kind of share things financially. Different setup completely. We're individual agents. We don't market as a team. Doesn't matter how we're paid. So again, just have that conversation with your managers. It's if you think of a team, it's more about how they market themselves than how they're actually financially being paid out on their transactions. Yes. So if they're not, again, have that conversation with Jim, show him the chart, say, hey, you might want to talk to agents A, B, and C just to make sure that they're not marketing as a team. They have no intention of being a team because it will affect them come award season. Great question. What else do you guys have for me? All right, well, I think that's a wrap. Again, when you get into Dash, if you don't see what you need to see, reach out. If you get into Desk and you don't see what you need to see, reach out. Appreciate so much your help getting our team set up for success for the award season. As always, thank you for everything that you do. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.